Shout out to this fan for coming up with the idea to this video. If you have any cool ideas for a future video, let me know in the comments below, or add me on Snapchat at net_alliance. You may just get a shout out.
3, 2, 1.
What's up, Net Soldiers? I am Net Alliance, and today we're asked the question, what if Anakin and Obi-Wan stayed on Mandalore with Ahsoka instead of going to save the Chancellor in Episode 3? But before we begin, if you're a subscriber of mine and you feel like being awesome, make sure to join the notification squad by clicking the little bell button beneath this video. It will turn on your notifications, so every time I upload a new video, you can get my videos first. And I respond to the first 50 people who comment on this video, so good luck. But without further ado, let's begin. So if you're like me and you watch the Clone Wars TV show and Revenge of the Sith, you notice that there are a few things missing, and probably the most obvious missing elements are some of the main characters that we see in the Clone Wars. Primarily speaking, Ahsoka Tano and Captain Rex. Oh, and what's that guy with the pointy head? Oh man, he has a bunch of spikes on his head. You know, he's a fan favorite of the prequels. He's kind of like he's the Boba Fett of the prequels actually. Oh, is it Count Dooku? Oh, that's right. His name's Savage Opress. I'm just kidding. It's Maul. You guys know I'm talking about Maul. How could I forget Maul? Now, in the early seasons of Clone Wars, we all just assumed that the creators would just kill off these characters before the show's finale, just to make sense on why they're not actually in the third film. But it turns out Ahsoka, Rex, and Maul didn't die at all. They were on Mandalore during the events of Revenge of the Sith. In fact, the final season of Clone Wars, which was going to be like season 7 or even 8, was actually going to depict the siege of Mandalore, with Ahsoka and Maul going at it. But as we know, Disney purchased Lucasfilm and the Clone Wars was officially shut down. So we never actually got to see these events transpire. That was until the release of the book Star Wars Ahsoka, which explains what happened to the young Grey Jedi between the last time we see her in the Clone Wars and pretty much the first time we see her in Rebels. Now, in the story, as I mentioned earlier, Ahsoka is given command of Rex and his clone troopers to assault Maul and his Death Watch on Mandalore. However, before the assault could begin, Anakin and Obi-Wan were called back to Coruscant to save Chancellor Palpatine. But what if they stayed on Mandalore with Ahsoka and Rex? Let's explore. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to say this. The hardest thing about writing this theory is the fact that no one seems to know just how much time passes from the beginning of Revenge of the Sith to the end of Revenge of the Sith. So after much debate among myself, I decided to turn to the one place of knowledge on the internet that is never wrong: Reddit. And so the almighty Reddit geniuses came together and have decided that it takes place between 4 to 6 months. And they mainly base the time jump due to Padme's pregnancy. However, there are a couple other factors too, but that's the main thing. So I'm just going to say 4 months, for it's easier to imagine Ahsoka and Rex had been assaulting Mandalore for 4 months rather than 5 or 6 or even 7 months. Now, in this alternate timeline, when Anakin and Obi-Wan are called back to Coruscant, Anakin chooses to stay. And although Obi-Wan would be reluctant at first, he would ultimately choose to stay to take down Maul with the others. Now, chances are this would really infuriate Palpatine, for he staged his own capture so Dooku could kill Obi-Wan, and then Anakin could kill Dooku. And with Anakin and Obi-Wan disposed for 4 months, this could really foil his plans. And so, I feel he would just allow himself to be recaptured and they'll try again later maybe? From there, I feel Palpatine would probably send someone to kill Maul for distracting Skywalker. I don't actually think he would send Dooku. I think what Palpatine would do is he would actually send Grievous and the droids to Mandalore. And with the Chancellor safe and sound, I'm sure more Republic troops would come to Mandalore as well. So Mandalore would be all-out war for months, with the Republic and Separatists assaulting Maul's forces as well as assaulting each other at the same time. Now, this timeline would be extremely different, for Count Dooku and Grievous would still be around. Plus, Palpatine hadn't been able to turn Anakin to the dark side yet, so I feel Order 66 would have been saved for a later date. Also, I do figure eventually Maul would be taken down, and chances are Grievous may die as well, but it's really tough to say. I personally think Anakin and crew would kill Grievous and Maul. And when Mandalore was beaten, that's when Palpatine would try to work his magic. I mean, who knows? He may even attempt to be captured again. But that's it for this theory, you guys. I wanted to put more of a narrative onto this, but after kind of writing all this stuff down and figuring out where I want to go with this, I realized the entire thing would just be like, oh, Grievous goes to slash at Kenobi. Kenobi blocked. Kenobi then used the Force to push Grievous back. Maul jumped into the fray. Now it's a 1v1v1. Now it's Maul versus Grievous versus Obi-Wan. And Obi-Wan then slashes at Maul, but Maul blocks. You know, it just sounds like it's the same thing over and over again. So there wasn't much of a narrative I could throw in here, so I decided just to do more of an outline theory. But this theory is a very interesting idea that completely changes the timeline in the Star Wars franchise. So what do you think would happen if Anakin and Obi-Wan stayed on Mandalore with Ahsoka? Let me know in the comments below. Please remember to like and subscribe for more videos, and until next time guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.